In this video, we will be going over part 3, the budget. This is kind of your main dashboard, and it's where you will spend most of your time. I've made it as simple as possible, and one of the major factors in simplifying it was to base your budget off of your financial priorities versus past expenses. It's okay to use past expenses as a reference, but I think it's best to budget based on what's important to you. And so it simplifies things because you don't have to keep any records. With that being said, I'll do a quick overview of this dashboard and how you use it. We use the zero-based budgeting, and this dashboard makes that really easy. I've already kind of filled in things for you, but to start out, you would enter in your previous month's income, so paychecks and any other income that you receive for you, and if you're married, for your spouse, any other income here. And in this section down here, you will brainstorm for a bit and come up with your various budget categories. You will then assign an initial amount to each category and assign a frequency. Most budget categories are monthly. The grocery category you might do weekly just to spread that out. And then you will see your annual total here. After you've gone through this, you're going to go down. I'm going to make a quick change here. You'll go down to the bottom here, or the section here, and it says this should be 0, so you can see that the monthly difference is 50. If it's a positive number, that means you've budgeted more money than you actually earned. So your August earnings will be budgeted against your September expenses. And so in this example, you have over budgeted $50. So you'll need to go back up. And again, this is where, since the income is limited, you will need to figure out what your financial priorities are and budget for those and cut back in areas that aren't as important. So the budgeting, in the end, the budget doesn't limit you. It's your income that limits you. The budget just gives you structure and guidance on how to spend and invest or use the money, save the money that you earn. So I'm going to cut back on 150 and make it back to 150, and that will bring us down to 0. So this takes a little bit of time, establishing your budget categories, assigning the first dollar amount that you want, and then you have to go back through and cut back or increase depending on how much money you've earned for the previous month until this gets to 0. The second section here is basically just some annual and monthly figures, so you can see your monthly income, monthly expenses. That should be 0. There's your annual income, annual expenses. We'll get back to this shortly, and then this is a quick dashboard of totals in the different ways you'll spend the money: cash, debit, check, auto, bill pay, bank transfers, and these totals should match. And as you can see, they don't, but we'll get back to that in a little bit. So this is your main budget dashboard. You enter your income, assign your budget categories and amounts, frequency. This is an auto calculation, so you'll see the annual total there. And one thing to keep in mind is you'll do this for several months and you'll get it close, but each month you'll be able to adjust, and don't feel like you have to get it perfect the first month. You'll add a category, you'll change an amount, you'll take away a category. It's just, see it as kind of a learning process for the first several months. And this is where things really become focused, because it forces you to prioritize your finances and assign every dollar to a budget category to ensure that this is 0. And we'll get into some of these other things a little bit later. So this is your main dashboard, and this is where you will spend most of your time each month when you run your budget.